See all this potential, and I see it squandered. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
Lesson 1. Sit here, legs crossed. The Force is not a power you have. It's not about lifting rocks. It's the energy between all things, the tension, the balance that binds the universe together.
Okay. But what is it? Love isn't something we invented. It's observable, powerful. It has to mean something.
Love has meaning, yes. Social utility, social bonding, child rearing.
We love people who have died. Where's the social utility in that?
None.
Maybe it means something more, something we can't yet understand. Maybe it's some evidence, some artifact of a higher dimension that we can't consciously perceive. I'm drawn across the universe to someone I haven't seen in a decade, who I know is probably dead. Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
Your mission. Should you choose to accept it? I wonder, did you ever choose not to? The end you always feared is coming.
This is about fixing the world's attention.
There cannot be peace without first a great suffering. The greater the suffering, the greater the peace. The end you've always feared is coming.
That old saying, how you always hurt the one you love? Well, it works both ways.
What are you thinking? How are you feeling? What have we done to each other?
You love pain. Pain reminds you the joy you felt was real.
I'm sick of the blood.
We agree a war might end humanity. Keep saying that. Sometimes in this world, whether we intend it or not, we become symbols.
The truth.
What truth?
Do you, Ethan, take Julia to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
To have, to hold, to love, cherish, honor, and protect?
I do.
To shield from terrors known and unknown? To lie, to deceive, to live a double life? To fail to prevent her abduction, erase her identity, force her into hiding, take away all she has known.
Stop.
In a selfish, futile, fleeting
Stop.
attempt to escape your own true self.
Please, stop.
And Julia, do you choose to accept?
Don't.
I do.
No.
Just trying to understand. How could you understand?
Do you know what it is to be a lover? To be half of a whole?
No? How could you bring her here, Dom?
What is this place?
What happened here?
You promised! Please, I need you to stay here just for now. You said we'd be together. You said we'd grow old together.
I'll come back for you. I promise.
What truth?
That the idea that caused you to question your reality came from me.
You planted the idea in my mind.
What is she talking about?
I did it to her first.
Why?
We were lost in here. I knew we needed to escape, but she wouldn't accept it. She had locked something away, something deep inside. A truth that she had once known, but chose to forget.
She couldn't break free. So I decided to search for it. I went deep into the recess of her mind and found that secret place. And I broke in, and I planted an idea. A simple little idea that would change everything.
Was the only escape.
The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
What did you do?
I had to keep her stable.
I protected her.
From the truth?
She's all rage, pain. It's all coming out at once.
Jean lost control, but she's still our friend.
This is your fault, Charles. The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner.
They're right to fear me.
The sooner these uprisings are put to rest, the sooner you'll see your home again.
We love everybody, hate everybody. I get my feelings confused.
But the closer you get, the more you see the great darkness simmering within. And now, I will never be the same. Mankind is another story altogether. What one does when faced with the truth is more difficult than you think.
You are in hell, little man. And I am the devil.
Are you so desperate to fight criminals that you lock yourself in to take them on one at a time?
A man who can offer you a path.
Makes you think I need a path.
Someone like you is only here by choice. You have been exploring the criminal fraternity, but whatever your original intentions, you have become truly lost. Path of a man who shares his hatred of evil and wishes to serve true justice.
You've traveled the world to understand the criminal mind and conquer your fears. But a criminal is not complicated. What you really fear is inside yourself. You fear your own power. You fear your anger, the drive to do great or terrible things. Now, you must journey inwards. But I know the rage that drives you. That impossible anger strangling the grief until the memory of your loved one is just poison in your veins. And one day you catch yourself wishing the person you loved had never existed. So you'd be spared your pain.
Guided meditation worked for cancer, could work for this.
Stay with the pain, don't shut this out. Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
I tried not to think of the word searing or flesh.
Stop it! This is your pain. This is your burning hand. It's right here.
I'm going to my cave. I'm going to my cave. I'm going to find my power animal.
No! Don't deal with the way those dead people do. Come on!
I get the point, okay,
No,
please?
what you're feeling is premature enlightenment. This is the greatest moment of your life, man. And you're off somewhere missing.
I am not.
Shut up. First, you have to give up. First, you have to know, not fear, know that someday you're gonna die.
You don't know how this feels.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
So why are you upset?
I probably sucked more today than anyone in the history of Kung Fu.
In the history of China? In the history of sucking?
Probably.
And the 5? Man, you should have seen them. They totally hate me.
Totally.
How's Shifu ever gonna turn me into the Dragon Warrior? I mean, I'm not like the 5. I've got no claws, no wings, no venom. Even Mantis has those thingies. Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. The panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Illusion?
Yes. Look at this tree, Shifu. I cannot make it blossom when it suits me, nor make it bear fruit before its time.
But there are things we can control. I can control when the fruit will fall. And I can control where to plant the seed. Hiya! That is no illusion, Master.
Ah, yes. But no matter what you do, that seed will grow to be a peach tree. You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get a peach.
But a peach cannot defeat Tai Lung.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe. Promise me, Shifu. Promise me you will believe.
The Jedi must have the deepest commitment, the most serious mind. This one, a long time have I watched. All his life as he looked away to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. Adventure, excitement. A Jedi craves not these things. You are reckless.
I'm not afraid.
You will be. You will be.
You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he is expecting to wake up. Ironically, this is not far from the truth. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
A prison for your mind. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
When you're in it, it feels real. Because it's never just a dream, is it? They say we only use a fraction of our brain's true potential. Now, that's when we're awake. When we're asleep, our mind can do almost anything.
Such as?
Well, imagine you're designing a building, right? You consciously create each aspect. But sometimes it feels like it's almost creating itself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I'm discovering it.
Genuine inspiration, right? Now, in a dream, our mind continuously does this. We create and perceive our world simultaneously, and our mind does this so well that we don't even know what's happening. That allows us to get right in the middle of that process. You create the world of the dream. We bring the subject into that dream, and they fill it with their subconscious.
How could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
In the dream state, your conscious defenses are lowered, and it makes your thoughts vulnerable to theft.
Over the ages, our weapons have grown more sophisticated, so corrupt we have infiltrated every level of its infrastructure.
As weapons or distractions?
Theatricality and deception are powerful agents. You must become more than just a man in the mind of your opponent.
Subject is still dreaming.
Excuse me? What are you doing here? Baby, where are you going? Lewis.
Each of us has a code for our optimal physical condition. The problem is our genes have an expiration date, which is transferred to our cells. A long time ago, someone figured out how to replace deteriorating cells with new ones. Today, it's as easy as changing a light bulb.
Where do you get these light bulbs?
You grow them.
Like clones?
In your world, people are used to fighting for resources, like oil or minerals or land. But when you have access to the vastness of space, you realize there's only one resource worth fighting over. Even killing for. More time. Time is the single most precious commodity in the universe.
What is that?
This is the most pure and most valuable solution.
Kalik came out of a bath.
Naturally, my sister didn't explain what it is or where it comes from. It comes from people. Each unit is refined from approximately 100 human beings.
What?
Your planet is a farm.
Now the human being was on your planet, a mere resource, waiting to be converted into capital. And this entire enterprise is just a small part in a vast and beautiful machine defined by evolution. That every human society is a pyramid, and that some lives will always matter more than others. And it's better to accept this than to pretend it isn't true.
There are, supposedly it's somewhere between 5 and 10% of the population can be described
as extremely suggestible. They want to go through that process that a hypnotist can take them through trance to arrive at somewhere else.
There's something hidden inside me. What is it?
It's a memory. I want you to sit back. And I want you to close your eyes.
Everything was data they installed in my mind. And there were others.
You know, I don't have time to listen to stupid stories from a stupid tree that is just a dream.
A dream? What is a dream, Connor O'Malley? And who is to say that it is not everything else that is a dream? I know what's real.
Can you tell us something really happened?
They all think it's about more detail. But that's not how memory works. We recall with our feelings. Anything real should be a myth.
If they kill you, this is going to happen all over again.
No, it won't. If they kill me, I'll be dead.
You won't die. They've been murdering you every day. Always at different times, different places, different lives. You never know when they're going to get you, but sooner or later they do.
This is insane.
You have no idea what you're dealing with here. They can alter reality, control minds. You only see what they want you to see.
What the hell are they?
People have called them lots of things. Ghosts, demons.
No, don't give me this voodoo bullshit.
They coexist with humans, but on another plane. And they can only be seen when they want to be seen, and they're coming after you because they need to stop you.
From doing what?
Remembering.
Why do they lie to us? Tell me. To keep you from knowing what you are. What we are?
What are we?
Don't take the medication that they give you. They use it to suppress your memories. Your shell belongs to them, but not your ghost. Your ghost is yours. Remember that, and maybe you can remember it all.
We gave you false memories. Carter wanted to motivate you.
I don't understand. How can he not know?
The hack must have created a vacuum. Kuzes wiped his memory and somehow installed a new reality.
Fantasy, reality, dreams, memories. It's all the same. Just noise.
We can train your subconscious to defend itself from even the most skilled extractor.
How can I do that?
I know how to search your mind and find your secrets. I know the tricks.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
This can't be.
Be what? Be real?
Let me ask you a question. You never really remember the beginning of a dream, do you? You always wind up right in the middle of what's going on.
I guess, yeah.
So how did we end up here?
Well, we just came from the,
Think about it. How did you get here? Where are you right now?
We're dreaming?
You dream, your mind functions more quickly, therefore, time seems to feel more slow.
That's why the military developed dream sharing. It was a training program for soldiers to shoot and stab and strangle each other and then wake up.
How did architects become involved?
Someone had to design the dreams, right?
3 layers down, dreams are gonna collapse with the slightest disturbance.
Sedation. For sleep, stable enough to create 3 layers of dreaming, we'll have to combine it with an extremely powerful sedative. The compound we'll be using to share the dream creates a very clear connection between dreamers whilst actually accelerating brain function.
In other words, it gives us more time on each level.
Brain function in the dream will be about 20 times normal. When you enter a dream within that dream, the effect is compounded.
It's a week, the first level down. 6 months, the second level down, and the third level.
It's 10 years. Who would want to be stuck in a dream for 10 years?
It depends on the dream.
The subconscious is motivated by emotion, right? Not reason. We need to find a way to translate this
into an emotional concept. Positive emotion trumps negative emotion every time. We all yearn for reconciliation, for catharsis. Resilient, highly contagious. Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate. An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks. Right in there somewhere.
You know, everything old can be made new again. Like democracy.
Not according to our intelligence.
Intelligence gathered by whom? And under the guise of serving his country.
Assumes his own secret identity.
Free to operate at will, with the full support of the U.S. government.
Why?
They were believers in a cause. And when that cause turned out to be a lie, they turned against their masters. How many times has government betrayed him, disavowed him, cast him aside, and how long before a man like that has had enough?
That is a serious accusation. Can you prove it?
I'm afraid we've both been played for fools.
I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you.
You don't believe us, do you?
I believe you, but that's not the problem. You don't need me to believe you. You need them to believe you.
They're not wired like me and you, okay? They don't spend their lives trying to get a look at what's behind the curtain. They like the curtain. It provides them stability, comfort, definition. This would open the curtain and open the curtain behind that curtain, okay? So the minute someone with an ounce of authority calls bullshit, everyone will nod their heads and say, see? Ha! I knew it! Too strong. Better. Perfect.
We water it down.
Precisely.
Wait, what?
Your story. We moderate it. Just like this drink here. We make it more tolerable.
Many things that are true feel like a cheat. Kingdoms get the princes they deserve. Farmers' daughters die for no reason. And sometimes witches merit saving. Quite often, actually. You'd be surprised.
Who's the good guy here?
There is not always a good guy, Connor O'Malley. Nor is there always a bad one. Most people are somewhere in between.
All you want to do is tell me stories.
Stories of how I topple my enemies. Stories of how I slew dragons. Let me tell you a tale of when I came walking.
I need to know that this is all going somewhere, and I need to know it right now. I mean, what kind of a warrior trains by sitting around scrubbing toilets?
When you become a warrior, you learn to meditate in every action.
Scrubbing toilets?
Letting go of attachments. Like your pride. Giving up your addiction.
Yeah, name one thing I'm addicted to.
Talking. Especially interrupting. Knowing everything, when in fact you know nothing.
You really think that this is going to expand my awareness of anything? My game is off. My coach probably thinks that I'm on drugs, and I'm thinking, I just don't have any more time for you right now.
All you have is right now, Jack.
Did you just call me a jackass again? Because you know, I'm really starting to wonder how someone with a life that you've managed to put together can teach me anything. I mean, are you really happy? Maybe you're just a case of someone who, not having made much of themselves, says that the world is lost and all these things don't matter. Be happy with less, right? Less than what? Less than nothing?
I call you a jackass when you act like a jackass. Like now, Dan, when you're letting your emotions control you.
This isn't emotion. This is common sense. You know what? Let me tell you something. Whatever your name really is. When I get what I want, I'll be happy. For real and forever, and anything else I say it'll be. Because I will make it happen.
The ego is the worst confidence trickster we could ever figure, we could ever imagine. Because You don't see it.
And the single biggest con is, I am you.
The problem is that the ego hides in the last place that you'd ever look, within itself.
It disguises its thoughts as your thoughts, its feelings as your feelings. You think it's you.
People's need to protect their own egos knows no bounds. They will lie, cheat, steal, kill, do whatever it takes to maintain what we call ego boundaries.
People have no clue that they're in prison. They don't know that there is an ego. They don't know the distinction.
At first, it's difficult for the mind to accept that there's something beyond itself, that there's something of greater value and greater capacity for discerning truth than itself.
In religion, the ego manifests as the devil. And of course, no one realizes how smart the ego is because it created the devil so you could blame someone else.
In creating this imaginary external enemy, we usually made a real enemy for ourselves, and that becomes a real danger to the ego, but that's also the ego's creation.
There is no such thing as an external enemy, no matter what that voice in your head is telling you. All perception of an enemy is a projection of the ego as the enemy.
In that sense, you could say that 100% of our external enemies are of our own creation.
Your greatest enemy is your own inner perception, is your own ignorance, is your own ego.
I know the tricks, and I can teach them to you so that even when you're asleep, your defense is never down. In order for this all to work, you need to completely let me in.
Sounds like a lot of fantasy role-playing nonsense. You want to know what it is? What it's all about?
They make your life fun.
Fun.
I created 3 keys. 3 hidden challenges test for worthy traits, revealing 3 hidden keys to 3 magic gates. And those with the skill to survive these traits will reach the end where the prize awaits. The keys aren't just laying around under a rock somewhere. I suppose you could say they're invisible, hidden in a dark room that's at the center of a maze that's located somewhere up here.
I will tell you 3 stories, and when I finish my stories, you will tell me a 4th.
I don't know anything about stories.
You will tell me a 4th, and it will be the truth.
What are you talking about?
This truth that you hide, the truth you dream. You will tell me your nightmare.
No.
Yes, that will be your truth.
And if I don't?
It's part of your game.
Don't you start with me now! Don't you fucking start with me!
I'm telling you the truth now. This is all the game.
Bullshit, all right? Bullshit.
A profound life experience.
Once I was blind, now I can see. Best of luck.
This is your game, and welcome to it. I'm here to let you in on a few ground rules. You receive the very first key, and others will follow. You'll never know where you'll find them or how you'll need to use them. So keep your eyes open.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
Energy.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
The Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 ones before. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 ones before. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely.
Do you know what this will do to people when they find out the truth?
I don't think that most people would want to know the truth.
I do.
It is not her you need saving from.
Maybe it's time we all stop trying to outsmart the truth and let it have its day. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. You expect to destroy my world. And then think that we're gonna shake hands.
No.
I know what this means.
What does it mean?
It means your hatred, and it also means losing someone that I have cared for since I first heard his cries echo through this house. But it might also mean saving your life. And that is more important.
Saw the sunrise this morning. I think I know what I am now. There's a world built on top of ours. People live there. I think they're like me.
We saw it.
They're like you? Yes, I think so. I understand. Lucas?
I believe you.
Good.
All right.
All this blood comes back to us. I don't know that we ever were that decent. Suffering thousands of years of hatred doesn't make you decent. But we're supposed to be righteous. That's a beautiful thing. And now I'm losing it. I lose that. That's everything. That's my soul.
Did we accomplish anything at all? Every man we kill has been replaced by worse.
Why cut my fingernails? They'll grow back.
You tell me what we've done.
You killed them for the future, for peace.
There's no peace at the end of this, no matter what you believe. You know this is true.
We need to stop viewing each other as enemies.
Racing hasn't changed and it never will.
It doesn't matter if racing never changes. What matters is if we let racing change us.
They have stolen the heart from inside you. But this does not define you. This is not who you are. You know who you are. Who you truly are.
Every one of us has to find a reason to do this. You don't climb into a T-180 to be a driver. You do it because you're driven.
If you know so much, why don't you tell me why I should keep driving?
Sorry. That's for you to figure out. I just hope when you do, that I'm there to see it.
Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No! Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us. And binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Our bodies are prisons for our souls. Our skin and blood, the iron bars of confinement. But fear not. All flesh decays. Death turns all to ash. And thus, death frees every soul. You must feel the Force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, even between the land and the ship.
You want the impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
See you around, kid.
For primitive beings like us, life seems to have only one single purpose: gaining time. And it is going through time seems to be also the only real purpose of each of the cells in our bodies. To achieve that aim, the mass of the cells that make up earthworms and human beings has only two solutions: be immortal or to reproduce. If its habitat is not sufficiently favorable or nurturing, the cell will choose immortality. In other words, self-sufficiency and self-management. On the other hand, if the habitat is favorable, they will choose to reproduce. That way, when they die, they hand down essential information and knowledge to the next cell, which hands it down to the next cell, and so on. Thus, knowledge and learning are handed down through time.
The knowledge is not the same as wisdom.
Yeah? What's the difference?
You know how to clean a windshield, right?
Yeah.
Wisdom is doing it. Are you happy?
What does happy have to do with anything?
Everything. I'd say maybe you're still asleep. You can live a whole lifetime without ever being awake.
There's nothing out there for me.
And that's the problem. You hung up your cape and your cowl, but you didn't move on. You never went to find a life, to find someone.
Alfred, I did find someone.
I know, and you lost them, but that's all part of living, sir. But you're not living. You're just waiting, hoping for things to go bad again. Remember when you left Gotham? Before all this, before Batman? You were gone 7 years. 7 years I waited, hoping that you wouldn't come back. Every year, I took a holiday. I went to Florence. There's this cafe on the banks of the Arno. Every fine evening, I'd sit there and order a Fernet Branca. I had this fantasy that I would look across the tables and I'd see you there with a wife, maybe a couple of kids. You wouldn't say anything to me, nor me to you. But we both know that you'd made it, that you were happy. I never wanted you to come back to Gotham. I always knew there was nothing here for you except pain and tragedy. And I wanted something more for you than that. I still do.
What's it like down there?
It's cold and dark. Just a million miles away. No voices. No data streaming. Just nothing. It scares me.
And why do you do it?
It feels real.
I want you to stop gathering information from outside yourself and start gathering it from the inside.
Were you part of some cult or something?
People are afraid of what's inside. And that's the only place they're ever gonna find what they need. Why can't you sleep? Is it because maybe late at night, when all the noise dies down and you're laying there in bed and there's nobody around but you, then maybe you get a little scared. Scared because suddenly everything feels so empty. You tell me you want to be more than just someone who gets up on those rings and performs a well-practiced stunt or two. You tell me you want to be someone who uses his mind and his body in ways that most people would never have the courage to. And I will train you, Dan, to be a real warrior.
Is the dark side stronger?
No. But busier, more seductive.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know when you are calm, at peace, passive. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. That's what your training, even your life, is about. Developing the wisdom to apply the right leverage in the right place at the right time. Take out the trash.
You take out the trash.
The trash is up here. That's the first part of your training. Learning to throw out everything you don't need in here.
One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. Your mind is like this water, my friend. When it is agitated, it becomes difficult to see. But if you allow it to settle, the answer becomes clear. It is time.
But who? Who is worthy to be trusted with the secret to limitless power, to become the Dragon Warrior?
Everything we know about the brain could be wrong.
I've given up on my body. I thought my mind's the only thing I have left. I should at least try to elevate that. So I sat with gurus and sacred women. Strangers carried me to mountaintops to see holy men. And finally, I found my teacher. And my mind was elevated. and my spirit deepened. And somehow...
Your body healed.
Yes. And there were deeper secrets to learn there, but I didn't have the strength to receive them.
How did you correct a complete C7, C8 spinal cord injury?
Well, I didn't correct it. He couldn't walk. I convinced him that he could.
You're not suggesting it was psychosomatic.
When you reattach a severed nerve, is it you who heals it back together or the body?
It's the cells.
And the cells are only programmed to put themselves back together in very specific ways.
Right.
What if I told you that your own body could be convinced to put itself back together in all sorts of ways?
You're talking about cellular regeneration. That's bleeding edge medical tech. Is that why you're working here without a governing medical board? I mean, just how experimental is your treatment?
Quite.
So you figured out a way to reprogram nerve cells to self-heal?
No, Mr. Strange. I know how to reorient the spirit to better heal the body.
The spirit to heal the body.
That's right. Don't like that map?
Oh, no, it's really good. It's just, you know, I've seen it before in gift shops.
And what about this one?
Acupuncture, great.
Yeah? What about that one?
You're showing me an MRI scan. I do not believe this.
Each of those maps was drawn up by someone who could see in part, but not the whole.
You're talking to me about healing through belief.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole, and you've spent your whole life trying to widen that keyhole, to see more, to know more. And now, on hearing that it can be widened in ways you can't imagine, you reject the possibility.
No, I reject it because I do not believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief. There is no such thing as spirit. We are made of matter and nothing more. You're just another tiny, momentary speck within an indifferent universe.
You think too little of yourself.
Oh, you think you see through me, do you? Well, you don't. But I see through you. What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eyes.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is? What is real? What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? At the root of existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality. This universe is only one of an infinite number. Worlds without end. Some benevolent and life-giving. Others filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time lie. Who are you in this vast multiverse? Mr. Strange? Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
Teach me.
Breathe. Just breathe. Reach out with your feelings. What do you see?
The island. Life. Death and decay that feeds new life. Warmth. Cold. Peace. Violence.
And between it all,
Balance. And energy. A force.
and inside you.
Inside me. That same force.
And this is the lesson. That force does not belong to the Jedi. To say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can you feel that?
There's something else. Beneath the island. A place. A dark place.
Balance. Powerful light, powerful darkness.
It's cold.
It's calling me.
You went straight to the dark.
That place was trying to show me something.
It offered something you needed.
Let the past die. Kill it, if you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
Take out the trash, Dan. The trash is anything that is keeping you from the only thing that matters. This moment. Here. Now. And when you truly are in the here and now, you'll be amazed at what you can do and how well you can do it.
The sorcerers of antiquity called the use of this language spells. But if that word offends your modern sensibilities, you can call it a program. The source code that shapes reality. We harness energy drawn from other dimensions of the multiverse to cast spells, to conjure shields and weapons, to make magic.
Even if my fingers could do that, my hands would just be waving in the air. I mean, how do I get from here to there?
All you need to do is focus. Visualize. See the destination in your mind. Look beyond the world in front of you. Imagine every detail. The clearer the picture, the quicker and easier.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality. When you learn to quiet your mind, you'll hear them speaking to you.
Man of faith without faith. Belief is half of all healing. Belief in the cure. Belief in the future that awaits. Your belief is valuable, so you must be careful where you put it. And give room.
You cannot beat a river into submission. You have to surrender to its current and use its power as your own.
I control it by surrendering control? It doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to. Your intellect has taken you far in life, but it will take you no further. Surrender, Stephen. Silence your ego, and your power will rise.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand why every fucking person is so bad to each other so fucking often. It doesn't make sense to me. Judgment, control, all that, the whole spectrum. It just...
What people we talking about?
You know, parents, hypocrites, politicians, pricks.
This is a mistake. It's a mistake to get too deep into all that kind of stuff. Alex, you're a hell of a young guy. A hell of a young guy. But I promise you this. You're a young guy. Can't be juggling blood and fire all the time. You gotta just kind of...
Stop fighting. Let it flow.
You want to go back to the delusion that you can control anything, even death, which no one can control.
Raymond, you're going to die. Is that your mom and dad? Mom and dad are gonna have to call up kindly Dr. So-and-so. Dig up your dental records, wanna know why? Because there's gonna be nothing left to your face.
Oh, come on.
An expired community college student ID. What'd you study, Raymond?
Stuff.
Stuff? Were the midterms hard? I asked you what you studied.
Biology mostly.
Why?
I don't know.
What did you want to be, Raymond K. Hessel? The question, Raymond, was what did you want to be?
Answer him, Raymond. Jesus.
Veterinarian.
Animals.
Yeah, animals.
Good stuff. Yeah, I got that. That means you have to get more schooling.
Too much school.
Would you rather be dead?
No.
Would you rather die here, on your knees, in the back of a convenience store?
No, please, no.
I'm keeping your license. Gonna check in on you. I know where you live. If you're not on your way to becoming a veterinarian in 6 weeks, you will be dead. Now run on home.
Run, Forrest, run! I feel ill.
Imagine how he feels.
Come on, this isn't funny. That wasn't funny. What the fuck was the point of that?
Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of Raymond K. Hassel's life. His breakfast will taste better than any meal you and I have ever tasted.
You had to give it to him.
Come on.
He had a plan, and it started to make sense in a Tyler sort of way. No fear, no distractions. The ability to let that which does not matter truly slide.
Death is what gives life meaning. To know your days are numbered, your time is short. You'd think after all this time I'd be ready. But look at me, stretching one moment out into 1,000, just so that I can watch the snow.
I'm not afraid anymore, Tommy.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Want to try something? Maybe I don't think your leg is the only thing that got broken. I know this is a scary moment for you. Are you paying attention to it? She was a taker. You need to give her.
God's placed it all around us. It's in everything, in anything we can experience. People just need to change the way they look at those things.
Yeah, I'm going to take stock of that. From the bits and pieces I've put together, you know, from what you told me about your family, your mother and your dad, and I know you got your problems with the church, too. But there's some kind of bigger thing we can all appreciate. And it sounds like you don't mind calling it God. But when you forgive, you love. And when you love, God's light shines on you.
Learning's always a painful process. Like when you're little and your bones are growing and you ache all over.
You're the one who called me, Connor O'Malley.
I called you! It was to save her! It was to heal her!
I did not come to heal her.
Yes, you did!
I came to heal you.
Me! I'm the one who needs healing! How many times do I have to tell you? My mum's the one who... Ah! Help me.
Leave me alone! Please, please. I'm afraid.
Very weird now, not feeling that stupid panic thing inside me all the time. Without that, I just start thinking about myself and what good does that ever get anybody? Today on the bus, there was this adorable couple, and I felt myself giving them a dirty look. I just had no idea everything was Go ahead. Moving in the wrong direction. Away from a time when I remembered what it was like to have a man to anything. Who needs these thoughts?
So, what are you saying, that you're frustrated?
Leave me be! Why are you doing this? What is it you want? I hope getting me thinking about everything that's wrong when all I want to do is not do that has some purpose.
I don't know what to do now.
First realization of a warrior.
What is?
Not knowing.
What's happening to me? I don't cry.
Apparently you do.
It's embarrassing.
Emotions are natural.
the passing weather. What do you do if you can't do what you were born to? Everything has a purpose, Dan. Even this. And it's up to you to find it.
I was afraid for all of my life. Right up until the day I knew my life was ending. That was when I realized that as terrifying and painful as reality can be, it's also the only place that you can get a decent meal.
You're scared, right?
Maybe.
The way this works is, you do the thing you're scared shitless of, and you get the courage after you do it, not before you do it.
I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Darkness, the truest darkness, is not the absence of light. It is the conviction that the light will never return.
A warrior does not give up what he loves, Dan. He finds the love in what he does.
Look at me! I have a metal rod in my leg.
A warrior's not about perfection, or victory, or invulnerability. He's about absolute vulnerability. That's the only true courage.
What kind of training do you think I could do? I just had an accident.
The accident is your training. Life is choice. You can choose to be a victim or anything else you'd like to be.
Just ignore what happened to me?
A warrior acts, only a fool reacts.
What if I can't do it?
That's a future. Throw it out.
Well, how would we start?
There is no starting or stopping. Only doing. Nearly all of humanity shares your predicament, Dan. If you don't get what you want, you suffer. And even when you get exactly what you want, you still suffer. Because you can't hold on to it forever.
All right, I'm talking about getting up there and winning the gold right now, so yes, I do.
The gold is a craving. If only I had it, I'd be happy. Can't you hear it in there?
It's a dream, Sock. All right, I can't think that dreams are bad.
You don't surrender your dreams, Dan. You surrender the one thing you never have and you never will. Control. Accept that you don't control what will happen to you. That you may or you may not compete in the Olympics. That you may or you may not, Dan. And that you are something exceptional.
Every program that is created must have a purpose. If it does not, it is deleted. You do not understand.
I just have never
heard a program speak of love.
It is a human emotion.
No, it is a word. What matters is the connection the word implies. I see that you are in love. Can you tell me what you would give to hold on to that connection?
Anything.
Then perhaps the reason you are here is not so different than the reason I am here.
Because reality is real. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do. Life has just 3 rules.
And you already know them.
Paradox, humor, and change.
Paradox.
Life is a mystery. Don't waste time trying to figure it out.
Humor.
Keep a sense of humor, especially about yourself. It is a strength beyond all measure.
Change.
Now that nothing stays the same. Journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing. This shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you. That meant something. Even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going. Because they were holding on to something. What are we holding on to, Sam? That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
But the light always returns to show us things familiar. Home, family, and things entirely new or long overlooked. It shows us new possibilities and challenges us to pursue them. This time, the light shone on the heroes, coming out of the shadows to tell us we won't be alone again. Our darkness was deep and seemed to swallow all hope. But these heroes were here the whole time to remind us that hope is real, that you can see it. All you have to do is look.